Every time there's a mass shooting, I have some Facebook friends who like to post a clip from Jon Stewart talking about gun control and why a good guy with a gun is not the answer. Check it out.
Mr. NRA, do you have any thoughts on how the rest of us could die less?
Lean in. Listen to me now.
Go on.
And never forget these words.
Spit it out.
To stop a bad guy with a gun, it takes a good guy with a gun.
Yes. Why didn't I think of that? Shootouts. One question, very quickly. How can you tell who's a good guy? You know what? Maybe I guess just ask them. I'm sure people are generally honest about that.
So we can't have good guys with guns because we won't know who the good guys are. That's a terribly weak argument. Let's think about it for a second. What are the differences between a good guy with a gun and a bad guy with a gun? According to Stewart, the fact that they both have guns will make it too hard to figure out. But I don't buy that for a second. In a mass shooting, the bad guy is often dressed like he's going to war. A good guy is dressed like he's going to work. A bad guy has his gun out pointing it. A good guy has his gun tucked away. A bad guy shoots indiscriminately at people. The good guy only shoots at the bad guy. When the bad guy kills someone, he continues shooting. When the good guy kills the bad guy, he stops shooting. Those are differences that are pretty easy to spot. But let's say the police roll up and can't figure out who's the mass shooter and who's the gym teacher and kills them both. Wouldn't that still be far better than the shooter just having free rein to shoot as many people as they can until the police show up? Now, in this tragedy that took place in Nashville the other day, the good guy with a gun worked. Not at the school the mass shooter went to, but at the school that the shooter decided not to go to. You see, the shooter scoped out more than one school to shoot up and decided to go to the school that didn't have a good guy with a gun on site. Here's what Metro Nashville Police Chief John Drake said about the shooter's manifesto.
It was the only school that was targeted. There was another location that was mentioned, but because of a threat assessment by the suspect, too much security, they decided not to. And that area was here in Nashville, so we're continuing with that investigation as well.
Think about that. Another school the shooter thought about attacking had better security, and that deterred the shooter from going there. Are people like Jon Stewart going to learn something? And I'll even take it a step further. Let's say the government was able to pass laws that banned all semi-automatic rifles. Wouldn't it still make sense to protect our children from people with handguns, or knives, or baseball bats, or whatever? Because banning guns doesn't stop evil people from doing evil things. The fact that many Democrats refuse to protect our children makes me think that this is about something else. I mean, why would a politician want a good guy with a gun to protect them, but not to protect our children? Joe Biden tried to make the weak argument that we have to do more to protect our schools so they aren't turned into prisons.
And we have to do more to protect our schools so they aren't turned into prisons.
I know Biden doesn't realize it, but in that statement, he acknowledges that having armed security at schools would protect our children. But he doesn't want to turn our schools into prisons, you see. That's the kind of stupid thinking that Jon Stewart does to believe that if two people have a gun, there's no way to tell who the good guy is. Hate to break it to you, Joe, but securing schools doesn't turn them into prisons. It turns them into safe places. Prisons keep bad people in, and secure schools keep bad people out. Surely you can understand the difference.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Okay, maybe not. Look, these people aren't just against protecting our children from violence. They don't want to protect them from pornography or delusion either. And that says it all. It's not about the safety of our children. It's about how they can use our children as pawns in their political agendas. The schools their children attend are protected by good guys with guns. It's sad to have to say this, but they're simply using our children and leaving them physically, mentally, and emotionally vulnerable to be used in their never-ending quest for more power. And that's the simple truth.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. And if you all want to support this channel, check out the links in the description, and let's keep putting some common sense back into the great debate.